All right. What's going on? You listen to King Cam Ujumbe podcast, and Ujumbe means message. I am glad that we're back once again. Shout out to the fam. This has been brought to you by Pan African Bookstore, Peachy Cam Events and Designs, and yours truly. I do have a new journal out, Ujumbe means message journal. It would be in the description below, and a couple more books. So I am glad that you guys are here. Shout out to the fam all over the diaspora. Let me see. Texas, much love to the fam in Texas. Ohio. Shout out to the fam in Ohio, Columbus, Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio, Los Angeles, California, New York, all over the diaspora. Goodness, there's so many of you guys. I really appreciate it. Much love to the fam in Germany, Saudi Arabia, South Africa, Zimbabwe. So we're gonna get in on that. We're gonna finish that today. West Africa, along the Bilal, Sudan. I am so um, humbled and happy that you guys are here one more time. So I don't want to hijack your time because I know you got things to do, but I really appreciate you guys for liking, commenting, and subscribing, and all those wonderful things. Detroit, I forgot. Yeah, shout out to the family in Detroit. What up, though? In Brazil, man, there's so many. Because I'm looking and I'm surprised by how many people all over the world that are listening and learning. We're all learning together. So I'm excited. We got a few more segments with night school, and then we're gonna move on. We're gonna take a little break, and then we're gonna move on into summer school. I have some great topics to discuss. I have some great people that's coming. I'm very excited. So let's get to the business. All right, here we go. King Cam, night school session. You know what it is. I'm very happy that you guys are here one more time. So we are doing chapter 9, The Builders of the South, part 2. Part 2, part 1 we did last week. I realized that this chapter was pretty weighty, and I did not want to make it a lengthy video, right? So I like to do things in bite sizes, in chunks. So this is part 2. Check out part 1. I'm going to have that in the description also. So let's get it. Okay, this is an introduction to African history geared just for you, designed to foster a life of learning. Um, I learned a lot in this process, in this journey. I learned something new today. Okay. I hope you guys, because you guys are very intelligent and smart, I know you're gonna chime in and let me know. All right. Now, of course, it will be once a week to go over a few readings on the continent. And there are many other civilizations in Africa outside of Kemet, and we are learning this every day. We're learning this every week, and I'm excited about it. Let's go. Okay, this is the sub-regions of Africa. We're right around the southeastern part, right around here. Okay, that's where we are. All right, we're still on the book, Basil Davidson, The Lost Cities of Africa. We got 2 more chapters, and we are done with this book study. Yeah, and I'm going to put that book in the description box. Also, I am an Amazon affiliate, and as a Amazon affiliate, if you buy a book, I get a small percentages from those purchases. So check it out. All right. Now, recap. What was the exceeding great country that Basil Davidson talked about? And how was the great Zimbabwe built? And is there an African replica of King Solomon's temple? That was pretty interesting. Of course, we have people alluding to the fact that, of course, the Jewish people were in Africa in various parts, but we're talking about stone monuments that was very similar to the Old Testament. All right. Now, was it African or Phoenician? Okay, because they would like to imply that outside influences came and developed these disenfranchised Negroes. Come on, y'all. Right? All right. Now, so today's objective, we will identify and discuss major concepts in the book entitled The Lost Cities of Africa, chapter 9. Chapter 9. Now, we're going to get into part 2. The essential questions today: what did they find by the Limpopo River? What did they find by the Limpopo River? Okay, who were these people? Okay, what did they find in the Limpopo River? Who are these people? Is it Hottentot or Batwa? Yeah, I told you this book is dated. It is dated, okay? But, we got to correct it as we see it, right? It's on site. Is it Hottentot or Batwa? And why were there forts in the terraces and in Yanga? All right, those are the main questions we're going to discuss today. Let's get it. Now, this is a map. I love this map because it shows Zimbabwe wasn't just a state per se. It was a region and it was a conglomerate of different kingdoms. And we discussed Zimbabwe, the Great Zimbabwe in the middle, but we're down further south in Mapungubwe. Okay, Mapungubwe. Y'all please correct me if I am wrong. I am King Cam. I am country is corn. So I need to know. All right. And it's along the Limpopo River there, down south, right at the edge of South Africa. It's right at the borderlands there. Okay. Much love to the fam. Love you guys. Let's get it. Okay. What did they find? What did they find? Uh, and it was significant. This place had a significance for two reasons. What did they find in the Limpopo region or river? It was important for two reasons. It was rich in skeletal material. A lot of our ancestors were buried there, and um, and also not only that, it was rich in gold. Okay, let's go and put it out there. It was not just our ancestors there, but there was some things that they was buried with. Okay, very similar to the Kemetic culture and Kushite culture of the north. They was doing this in the south. That's why we always contend that the culture that you know today by Kemet and Kush came from the south. Okay, but and much love to the Malawi family too. Some of my most ancient ancestors came from that area. All right, but anyway, and it was rich. It had skeletal material and it was rich in gold. Okay, now what else did they find? The kingdom of Mapungubwe was located south of the Limpopo River. According to the people, the mountains and hills were a place of fear. It was a place of fear. Not to be, I'm afraid of this place, but it was a place of great reverence and respect. I wonder why. Why is that, y'all? Why is that? Because the great ones were there, okay? So sacred, it was so sacred that the people did not even look in its direction or even point to it according to the book. The great ones, the ancient ancestors were there and their kings were there, their leaders were there, they were buried there. And to my understanding, there is a sacred place in South Africa, in Zulu land, where the only certain people know where Chaka was buried or where his mother was buried. It was just a region. It was over there. And nobody can go. I get it and I respect it. So the great ones were there. And this reminds me of the Kemetic, when they say great ones like that, when they say great ones, it reminds me of the pre-dynastic era of the Shimsu Haru, where there's 40 to 42 kings that ruled the Egypt or that area before the instability of the first golden age, before um the Scorpion King, okay? Before Menes or Narmer. There was 40 to 42 of these kings, this line of kings that ruled. So this reminds me, the great ones remind me of that group of people. And heads up, this is also close to the mountains of the moon, Mount Kilimanjaro. There are connections there. There are some, you start to see pieces of the puzzle bridging the gap and is putting things together, pointing you towards the northern land. But this is happening right here in the Great Zimbabwe area. And I did not know about Mapungu Way. I did not know about this place. This was my first time ever learning about this kingdom here, Mapungu Way. My very first time. Yeah, I knew about the Great Zimbabwe, but I did not know that there was a conglomerate of kingdoms in this area, and they was making it happen, making it work. All right. Now, what did they find? They found, of course, they found large pieces of gold. Yeah, that's what they found. Okay. It was these gold bangles, gold beads, and they were like the golden rhino, very symbolic. Okay, and you see there's the setting mall in the mace, very similar to what the kings of Kemet would have, the war hammer. Okay, they found large pieces of gold. According to Davidson, this was the first time they found gold in Southern Africa. I seriously doubt it, but that's what he say. Mm. What do you think? Comment below. But what do you think? That's what they say. All right. And after that, the gold objects were successfully recovered. My thing is, were they lost? Was it lost? Did they totally lose the location? Did did was it lost? I'm not sure. Okay, so that's the thing. They're saying that it was recovered. No, it was where it was supposed to be, right? Whenever you recover something, that means you lost it. That's crazy. And at the royal burial ground, they found over 7 ounces of gold. Now, unfortunately, they could not recover, they could not handle the bodies properly. It was skulls and bones, and it was made into dust. But they found over 70 ounces of gold. That's a lot. Okay, especially when you're weighing all these things, that's a lot. Okay, now who are these people? They were the Bantu people of the South. They were the Bantu people of the South. Okay, they were descendants of the Shona and the Soto people on page 720. Shona right here, and the Soto with the hat. I need to give me a hat like that. That's pretty cool. All right, they were descendants of these people, the Bantu people from the South. But what's the problem? The problem is they're trying to, Davidson and many other excavators were trying to imply that that it were not Black people living there with all of this gold and all this stuff. Who else would it be? Who else would be there? Right? Now, in the book, he calls the sacred people of the forest Hottentots, and that is a problem. They're not Hottentots. They were not pygmies, as the Westerners would call them. They were the Batwa people. They were sacred people of the forest, very knowledgeable individuals of the world and of science and everything. And so that's why they were so respected and regarded in Kemet. Okay. And so we have there's images of the Pharaoh with the Batwa people leading him. Okay. The Anu people had Batwa. They was all over South and Central Africa. They were sacred. There still are sacred people. Much love to the Batwa people. They were not Hottentots and they weren't pygmies and like the Wazungu would say, leprechauns. What is that? Okay. So they are the Batwa people. Now, the kingdom of Mapungubwe, okay, it was fortified. It had terraces. It had all these things. And so, as I mentioned before, these were overlapping kingdoms in various regions of South, Central, and Eastern Africa. And this was going on. The thing is, this was going on at the same time as Mali and Songhai in the West. This is the amazing part. I tell my students all the time, when Egypt and when Egypt fell, there rose many other kingdoms simultaneously. If not one after the other, it was about the same time. But when Rome fell, that was it. When Greece fell, that was it. But here come Monomotapa, here come Mali, here come the Nok people, here come the Dogon people, here come Mapungubwe, They got Mutapa, TV, all these other places. We are brilliant. But yes, this illustration here shows how the kingdoms overlap right here. Okay. And so, why were there forts and terraces at Inyanga? Common sense. They wanted to protect what they worked hard for. That's why we got fences around our house. That's why we have doors. Okay. To protect what we worked hard for. Yeah. But all right, but that's it's mind-boggling how Europeans would ask that question. Why would they fortify? Bro, because they are smart. They want to protect their homes. They want to protect their people, their land. When you, all right, all right. Now, we almost done. Okay. What did they find in the Limpopo River? Who were these people? Is it Hanta, Batwa? Or why were there forts and terraces and Inyanga? Okay. You listen to King Cam and Ujumbe podcast. And Ujumbe means message. And we just got done with chapter 9. And so what's next? What's next? We're going to deal with chapter 10. And for more on East Africa, Southern Africa, check out the Home Team Sankofa Pan-African series, Dr. B and Dr. John Henry Clark, the African History page, and AE Learning. Man, I'm really happy. I'm really excited about what we're doing, and we're learning together. We're in this together. And I just had to wrap up chapter 9. I really did. I had to finish that up before we move on to chapter 10, and we're almost done, y'all. All right, now, so more books. Okay, of course, Ancient African Kingdoms, the Great Kingdoms of Africa, pretty good books. And I will have that in the description below. And so check them out. All right. And Pre-Colonial Black Africa by the great Sheikh Enta Diop, and Introduction to African Civilizations by John G. Jackson. Really good book, y'all. Check them out. And of course, From Babylon to Timbuktu by Rudolph R. Windsor. Man, I'm just really, I learned something I did not know about Mapungum boy. I'm still on that, but it was great. All right, but let's pray in peace for unity and stability for our family along the Sahel region, the Congo, Ethiopia, and Sudan. It's a lot. It's a lot, even though the news is not highlighting that, but it's a lot going on, y'all. All right, so you just got through listening to King Cam and Ujumbe podcast, and Ujumbe means message, and the message is the great builders of the South, part 2. And we're going to move on. We're going to move on to the next. We're going to deal with chapter 10. This has been brought to you by PG Cam Events and Designs. Check out my new journal, Pan African Bookstore. I really appreciate you guys, and I will talk to you later. Peace.